truth, we're crushing Trudeau with youth. If you look at the polling data, Trudeau is now in third place. He is about as popular as a root canal.
Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David, and today's top stories: the Liberals have been caught scrubbing pages off of their website, more specifically $24 billion of world event contractors. It's the C word, the word that sounds like David, if you were to add a co in front of my name. This comes only weeks after Anita Nand announced that they want to have transparency in the government. Here they are scrubbing pages off the Canadian government website, trying to hide stuff. So let's jump into this. Got our top story here, posted by Larry Brock. It says, Cabinet has abruptly scrubbed dozens of Government of Canada websites, detailing more than $24 billion in payments to world event contractors. The publicly accessible database has been deleted only weeks after Treasury Board President Anita Nand promised to make sure we have transparency in government contracting. More cover-up, more government waste. 9 years of Trudeau. So sadly, I can't open this article. It's from Blacklock's Reporter, which is a paid website. But Larry Brock, if you're out there, man, something to note: if you have the web address, you want to send it to me, or in reverse here, if there's a website that's deleted but you still want to see it, you can go to this website called web.archive.org. You can type in Wayback Machine or Wayback Time Machine and it pops up on Google. You put in the URL here and you hit the button. However many timestamps it makes throughout its history, but it will most likely bring up some results. For example here, so I've put in www.energyripple.com. What is Energy Ripple? It's a Dragon Ball website I had when I was 12 or 13, 15. And if we click here, say 2003, these are the snapshots of the website. So these are the only results you have. So if I click on the very oldest one we have here from 2001, and there we go. There's my Dragon Ball website I made when I was 15 years old. None of the links work, but you can still see, there's the website. And eventually I converted this website into be my portfolio website. Well, I was trying to get into the video game industry. There we go. This is from 2015. So I converted this Energy Ripple into a health food website that I was trying to see. There I am. If you guys actually want to watch these videos, they're all on YouTube. They're on a channel called Earth Monkey. So that's it. Wayback Time Machine. You can get those websites back, Larry. Next up, we got this interview here of Pierre Poilievre and his wife, Anna, on TLN, which is a Latin TV network. And they asked some really interesting questions. I like because this is not a woke media station. They just have real honest questions here. And let's go through a couple of these.
What is a typical day in the Poilievre-Galindo household?
Why don't you kick this one off?
A typical day, well, they go to daycare and school. So a typical day is just, wake up. Mom wakes up. If dad is around, he helps. We divide and conquer. We each take one. If not, I'll do my best. And they go to school and we come back. And Pierre does the best he can when Parliament is sitting to come home around dinner time so that we can have dinner and put the kids to bed together. And then he goes back to his home office, of course, and works more until later on. But it's spending time with the family as much as we can.
And is dinner Canadian?
I really believe her answer there. It seemed authentic. That was what he actually does. I don't think she was lying whatsoever in that response. So next up, they're asked about owning a home in Canada. This is the hot button topic in Canada.
Let's start with housing. I mean, I am 27 years old. I am surrounded by people that dream about owning a house. But realistically, unless their parents own a house that they can then leave to them, it doesn't seem like it's going to be in any of our realities.
That is the reality in Canada here. That is really sad that people have to just hope that their parents can pass down a house to them, or that's what they're waiting for. Like, what kind of life is that? That's not a prosperous life that one can look forward to.
How do you think that can be addressed? What needs to be done to make sure that people in my generation can afford a home?
Well, we have to start with acknowledging why we're in this mess today. Canada wasn't like this before Trudeau. Like I said, it was very affordable to buy homes in Canada. And we should be the most affordable place in the world to get a home because we have so much space to build on. It's not like we're Singapore or Mexico City where there's just so many people and there's nowhere to put them all. And the problem is that we have this horrible bureaucracy that blocks home building. It takes 7 or 8 years to get a permit. That adds hundreds of thousands of dollars to the cost of every new home. It drives most people out of the housing market. So I'm going to require municipalities speed up permits, free up land, cut development taxes to allow 15% more home building per year as a condition of getting their federal money. I'll sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land. In fact, every square inch of real estate that is not needed for the functioning of the federal government, or that is not a national park or ecologically sensitive, will be considered for housing. We're going to get rid of the carbon tax to lower building material charges. And we're going to focus on the trades, not just the professions, so we can have more boots, not more suits, to build the homes.
So yeah, he's right. Back in, say, 2013, that's when I used to have a notary office with my ex-wife. And back then, you could buy a townhouse in Greater Vancouver, so not in downtown, but outside, for around $350,000. You could buy a detached house in, say, Coquitlam for around $600,000 to $700,000, around there. You get closer to downtown, it gets more expensive. You go a little bit further out. Back then, I think Chilliwack, you could buy a house for $450,000, $400,000, something like that, maybe $500,000. And this is the most inflated market in Canada. So the fact that all of the markets around Canada now are more than what that was back then says something very bad about Canada. I mean, people look to Calgary and Edmonton as these golden places with all these possibilities, because houses there are $700,000 or whatever, $600,000. So we're here in Calgary, and detached house $789,000. This one here $695,000, $635,000. That's really south of the city, but yeah, so $600,000 upwards for a detached house in Calgary. And people are just flocking there because these are wonderful opportunities. I mean, just imagine being able to buy a $500,000 house in the city of your choice, not just you have to go to Calgary, Edmonton, or Saskatoon or wherever to buy a house, because that's the only places where houses are, I was going to say affordable, but you know what I mean? They're almost affordable.
And as immigrants, Anna and myself have a very clear idea of what it's like to come to this country and to have a dream of building a better future for your family.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot of those immigrants are getting blamed for some of the issues that are happening in this country, whether it's crime, whether it's the overwhelmed healthcare system, or the rise of cost of housing. Do you think there is an immigration problem in Canada, and what is the solution? And I ask this to both of you.
Yes, that problem has a name. Justin Trudeau. He caused the problem. The immigrant people did not cause the problem. They did what they were told. The rules were online. They followed the rules. And they came here. In most cases, they followed the rules. They did what he said they should do. The problem is that he destroyed the common sense approach that worked for 150 years, where we brought in people in numbers that we could absorb into housing, healthcare, and the job market, where people came in lawfully, where the international students actually studied, and the temporary foreign workers actually filled jobs that Canadians couldn't fill. That was the system we had before, and that worked. If we get back to that, then we can bring back the best system in the world that gives high achievers and hard workers a chance to flee a bad situation and come to the best country in the world and achieve their dreams.
What a great answer. I mean, yeah, the immigrants here are not the problem. They, like you said, they came here based on the rules. The rules allowed them in. If you're an immigrant and you came here, now you're one of us. You have to help us get rid of Trudeau. He is an absolute mess. He's bringing in too many people. We got nothing against the people coming in. It's obviously the system in place. It's Justin Trudeau. It's the Liberals that are the problem here. But they are bringing in too many people. So we need to put a limit to the people coming in, because our country can't handle this much. Everything is breaking at the seams right now.
I think that a lot of people are scared to start a small business now because you almost get punished for being successful. And there are a lot of risks that come along with starting a brand new business. How do you plan to help these small business owners, and how do you maybe hope to incentivize it a bit more so you're not penalized simply for being successful and contributing to the Canadian economy?
Yes, and this is a byproduct of Trudeau's radical socialist agendas. He seeks to punish anyone who succeeded independently of the government, and then enrich a very small group of government friends through special handouts and favors for them. I want exactly the opposite. Get rid of the favors and the handouts and unleash free enterprise with low taxes, fast permits, and open competition, with a system that allows you to keep the fruits of your labor. I've also announced that within 60 days of becoming Prime Minister, I'll launch a tax reform task force that will design for me a bring-it-home tax cut that will lower taxes on those who work, invest, and make stuff in Canada, so that we can bring home more powerful paychecks and production. that it will be simpler, cutting 20% of the compliance and enforcement costs of the tax system, and fairer by cutting off the handouts, taxpayer-funded handouts to big multinationals, and using the savings to lower taxes for the working class people, so that that waitress, that high school kid who gets his first job, they keep more of their paycheck and their work is actually rewarded. That's my...
That sounds like a prime minister speaking there. It's a little refreshing, isn't it? A prime minister for once, not Justin Trudeau. I'm on vacation. Leave me alone, guys. I don't care about anything. The first thing he does when he gets off vacation, he goes to a pride parade. So here's Trudeau at the pride parade. This is in Vancouver. He was just on Vancouver Island, so he's close by. He just loves his selfies. Just get my right side. It's my best side. Ugh, he just loves these photo ops. I thought Pride was in June. Yeah, everyone's making the same comment here. With that said, we've got this one here where it's the CBC's at a Pride parade. Dude, nobody trusts you, CBC. You guys are a bunch of liars. Walking around with this sign is not like bringing more trust to you. You guys are woke media that are paid off that keep lying to us, the public. Proud to be local. Yeah, right. The only thing CBC's proud of is taking Canadian tax dollars and giving out big bonuses to their bigwig CEOs and top executives. I was asked here about the younger generation and what it's going to take to win the vote, or if he thinks he'll get the vote.
Well, right now, in truth, we're crushing Trudeau with youth. If you look at the polling data, Trudeau is now in third place. He is... he is about as popular as a root canal with voters under the age of 40. And I'm in first place among that group. And the reason why is obvious. I'm the only one who gives you the hope of ever owning a home. I mean, Trudeau's destroyed. Like, I'll give you an example. I got a guy in my riding who said to me, he has the same job as his mother had, literally in the same office building in downtown Ottawa. And yet, he cannot even come close to affording the same house that she bought. So he's living in the basement of that house. And she bought that house when she was in her 20s. So he's saying, wait a sec here, why is it before Trudeau, my mom with this job could buy a house, but now it's not possible? And they look around and say, Jagmeet Singh is offering exactly what Trudeau is offering. So who does that leave? The one guy who's actually delivered affordable homes when he was minister, who offers a common sense plan to reward hard work. You know, there's a misconception that young people just want a freebie from the government. That's not true. A freebie might be temporarily satisfying, but it's not fulfilling as a life. Work is about not just about having a living, it's about having a life. And young people want to work, they want to start businesses, they want to achieve something, they want to get married and have kids.
Yeah, it's so on point. Young people want to achieve things and feel that fulfillment of building something and achieving goals and chasing after the dream. If just taking that away, like, how are young Canadians supposed to think? You know, when you're 20, 25, 30, and you want to chase that goal of buying a house and now it's impossible, let alone taxes in Canada, starting a business. Everything is just ridiculous and bad in this country right now.
And I'm the only leader that offers a common sense plan that will allow them to do that. And that is why I will win the youth vote. And that is why Trudeau is despised among Canada's youth.
Pierre Poilievre digging in his nails. This one is popular as a root canal. So that's where we're going to wrap up that interview. If you want to check out the full thing, I'll link it down below. But those are the kind of the best tidbits from there. Next up, we got this one here. I'll translate it for you guys. It says, oh, look, the PM is gaslighting again.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour à tous. 190 years ago today, the Slavery Abolition Act took effect.
And I'm just continuing it on today because I want to be king dictator of Canada.
It liberated enslaved people of African descent across the British Empire in Canada, the Caribbean, South America, and South Africa.
And I'm trying to continue on the tradition today.
We still have work to do to keep building a country where everyone has a fair shot.
Being my personal slave. Well, that's where we're going to leave that there. I'd love to see that guy go to jail. I mean, you just look at every single comment anywhere. Trudeau, nobody likes you, buddy. Just resign. Just resign, raise your kids, retire, just go away, man. There's a magic machine that sucks CO2 out of the air, costs very little, and builds itself. It's called a tree. I finished 3 books over the weekend. Believe it or not, that's a lot of coloring. Give me the crayons, guys. I'm really good. The 3 Woketeers. Like, what is this blue man? What is he supposed to be? Who's the imposter? Yeah. We should put John Candy on our bills and call it Uncle Buck. Government is the only institution that can take a valuable commodity like paper and make it worthless by applying ink. Me and the gang searching for the contract we signed that gives the government rights to tell us what to do. Man, toilet fishing. Grab your rod and head for the toilet. We gotta update this and put it at a gas pump. Now let's head over to my Moose on the Loose group and see what we've got here on X. If you guys want to join this one, it's growing now. We got almost 100 members. FB's starting to crack down. They suppress a lot of things. They delete a lot of posts. Anyone who posts in my group and things get deleted, that's not me. The FB just deletes things. FB blocks me too. I was silenced for a week for nothing. So, but over here we don't get silenced. Climate change, carbon tax. So just a couple posts in here. I started off with this classic. It never gets old. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about Larry Brock bringing up this new scandal here. Anita Nand and her team scrubbing pages off the government website. $24 billion worth of the world event contracts just seem to disappear off the website. We don't need to be showing anyone that. Well, Larry Brock, if you're watching, man, Wayback Time Machine, you could probably look up some of those pages. You got the URL to those. I'm guessing you do because you knew those those pages were deleted. So I'm going to keep bringing the honest truth here, the real news. We're going to keep fighting for freedom. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one.